I went ahead and loaded up our big boy here, the Blastoise, just because I did a review of like everybody else so far, and Blastoise came out like right as I was doing other stuff. So I didn't have much of an opinion on Blastoise yet. Blastoise changed my mind a little bit about how I look at defenders, because in the name defender is kind of where they're trying to go with some of the characters, specifically with Blastoise and Snorlax. If you try to play Blastoise like Snorlax or Snorlax or Crustle, you're gonna have a hard time. Namely due to the fact that they don't play like those characters at all, and they actually have a lot less health and defense than Snorlax or Crustle do. So they're not really meant to be in the thick of a fight, you know, pushing people around and moving stuff around and setting up team fights. They're not really designed for that. What they are designed for, Blastoise and Slowbro, I think, are supposed to be more like goalies. So Blastoise is really good at area denial. So like he has Surf, which pushes people back. He has Hydro Pump, which pushes people back. He has Water Spout, which drops an area of effect, rain effect on a place that deals damage. So he has Rapid Spin, which lets him become unstoppable and start dealing damage and pushing people away while they're in his area. So Blastoise and Slowbro are designed more for that kind of play, and not necessarily about getting into team fights and pushing people around. So I was having a very hard time getting a good grasp on Blastoise. I finally sort of get it now, is that you want Blastoise on a mostly ranged team, or on a team that already has a tank that's going into, you know, your team fights and pushing people around, you know. So like if somebody already has a Snorlax and you have enough wiggle room that you can work in another defender, Blastoise or Slowbro are probably a pretty good pick. Because while Snorlax is okay at pushing people away from the goal line, he's not great at it necessarily. He's better at messing with your opponents, what they plan to do, and messing them up. So, would I want to use Blastoise as a solo tank? Probably not. If the rest of your team is a bunch of squishy mages, and then, you know, he could probably be fine. Same thing with Slowbro. If everybody else is a squishy mage, you're probably fine. If you have a normal team comp, and for normal team comps, you're welcome to go back to a video I recently posted about it. It talks about team comps, but if you want to have a sort of normal team comp where you have one of everything, Blastoise doesn't fit into that team comp. Not unless you do some very specific things, and even then, if you have one assassin on there, Blastoise doesn't play well with assassins very, very much. So now, who does he play well with? Oddly enough, Slowbro. I haven't played this team on a regular map, but I played several quick match games where I was on the receiving end of it, and I participated in a Blastoise Slowbro pair off. In quick match, when you have very few goals to deal with, like Shiver City, where there's basically one goal on each side and that's it, oh my gosh, Blastoise Slowbro just destroys you. Because it doesn't matter what Blastoise chose. Slowbro has to choose Surf and Telekinesis in order to be fully effective. But, I mean, you know, he can choose other things. It's just those are the ones that he needs to be most effective because both of those serve as interrupts. Telekinesis takes him out of the fight briefly. Surf serves as an interrupt. Blastoise also has Surf, which is also an interrupt and moves them away. Hydro Pump serves as an interrupt, moves people away. If you get caught with a Blastoise and a Slowbro at your goal, you just might as well just leave them alone. Because there's no way you're going to pull them out of there unless they decide to do it themselves. Because the second you get in there, they're going to interrupt everything you try to do and beat the living snot out of you. And there's nothing you can do about it as a single player because you're not going to have enough damage to take out all their health. Blastoise, I think, is probably the least healthy of the defenders, but he still has a decent amount of health that you have to take out. And Slowbro just has a butt ton of health that you have to go through. So, between those two, it's like a freaking wall that you have to go through in order to deal with these guys. So, they'll wind up killing you just because you can't do anything back. You know? So, it needs some testing. I need to find somebody who can either Blastoise or Slowbro, and I'll play the other end of it and then see if it actually works on a regular map. But on quick match maps, they are absolutely devastating. Like, you don't even need, you know, a support at that point, because they're just going to rock'em sock'em anybody that comes anywhere near them. Now, obviously, the counter to this is a high damage team that can just waste them. Or another team that does the same thing and interrupts them and causes havoc on their day. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'll see if I can get some more data as to how they perform on a regular map. I haven't tried Blastoise on ranked because I haven't had a very good grasp of them. But I have played Slowbro once or twice on ranked, oddly enough. So I do know that Slowbro can work in ranked on certain teams. So, but I'll have to get some more data. Hopefully next week I can report back on some of that. But right now it's looking like Blastoise Slowbro team is really nasty. So we'll have to see if that stays true. And actually, I think it's because there's a event thing going on right now where you can get a bunch of Slowbro costume stuff, and a lot of people are picking Slowbro on Quick Match quite often. so it wasn't very hard to get somebody to Slowbro, and I just picked Blastoise to go along with them, and just mess people up. So far, I have not found a duo similar to that yet.